We were born in sin, we die in sin. Lord have mercy. I did a lot in this life, so
okay, y'all, I'm back. I don't know what the fuck these folks fucking with my shit. So it's gonna be 2 videos, y'all. I'm sorry, I got cut short. That's how I'm gonna fix it. Excuse me, but talk about cointel Pro, what it is. That this is what they doing to my boy Rashad Jamal. Y'all, and they doing it to a lot of other carbonated beans as well. Pick back up right here, and then go back and watch the other video. I'm gonna put part 2 on it, so you can really hear and break down what the fuck I'm saying. And like I said again, I don't own rights to this video, so parts clips do not own rights to this content.
Table. FBI agents infiltrated meetings and
We'll take it back soon.
But be warned, by the time this video is over, the FBI won't seem like the brave crime stoppers the movies often paint them as. Under COINTELPRO, which stands for Counterintelligence Program, they were responsible for everything from psychological warfare to cold-blooded murder, all committed against mostly non-violent individuals whose greatest crime was questioning the system. Just how far the system will go to silence the...
Now, what did they say? The crimes were against non-violent offenders who didn't agree with the fucking system. So they just standing up for themselves and their people. Now, COINTELPRO, you know what that sound like? They doing my boy Rashad Jamal the same way. We need to ride with Rashad Jamal, y'all, because God really paved the way for us to come together and realize the oppressors' techniques and how they use them against us. So we're gonna start it again. Hold on.
These questions will alarm and terrify you. And at the heart of it all was FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, who opened a nightmarish Pandora's box of government overreach and illegal domestic espionage. The year is 1956, and the Red Scare is in full swing. You don't need to be an expert in American political history to know that mid-1950s America was terrified of communism. The threat of the bomb loomed large over American psyches, and Soviet spies and sleeper agents seemed to lurk in every shadow. Russia and the West were fighting a culture war, and the US was scared it was losing. When someone is afraid and backed into a corner, there's almost nothing they won't do to protect themselves, whether the initial fear is justified or not. The US needed bold strategies to fight the perceived communist threat growing within their own borders, and J. Edgar Hoover was on the case. He gave his underlings a sweeping directive to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize any political groups deemed too subversive for the FBI's liking. Hoover had the tacit permission of President Eisenhower and soon after President Kennedy, and Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy personally signed off on a number of covert projects under the COINTELPRO banner. Of course, while every sinister government project requires some enabling bureaucrats to sign all the permission slips, there always needs to be some triggermen willing to get their hands dirty and get the dastardly job done. In this case, we have William C. Sullivan, Director of the FBI's Domestic Intelligence Operations. Sullivan's first target was the Communist Party of America, who, on name alone, were obviously no friends of the Cold War FBI. Some of the techniques used by the FBI to destroy the Communist Party from the inside, including having agents sending threatening anonymous phone calls, having the IRS constantly audit them, and sending in forged documents to sow dissent among the party's ranks. You'll come to notice that this is a running...
What's going on, guys? What's going on? Look at my boy situation with Rashad Jamal. They just said that some of the techniques basically was calling late at night, fucking with your family, did death threats, sending death threats, you know, to get you riled up and shit. Come on, bro. It's COINTELPRO. Yeah, we ain't learned shit from the Big Bro situation. We need to really come together as a unit, man. This shit is getting too deep out here, guys and goddesses. Come on, what we gonna do? So, I don't know about y'all, but whoever I link up with, I'm planning on going to Atlanta here in a few months. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tap in Get your goddesses down there and see what the fuck really going on now. Hold up now. It seems like God outnumbered or something. How the fuck he outnumbered? It's a city full of fucking guys and goddesses down there. So we want answers. We want answers. And we're gonna play a little bit of this video, and then I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna speak about how we should come together as a unit. What we should and should not do.
Theme among the COINTELPRO projects, using psychological warfare tactics to turn groups against each other and alienate their members. To this end, literally nothing was off the table. FBI agents infiltrating meetings and posing as members to cause conflict, intelligence gathering for blackmail, and extortion.
I'm sorry, alienate our what? Leaders. What they doing? What they doing to the God, man? What they doing to the God, Rashad Jamal? Come on, they trying to fuck with God image, but it ain't stopping shit. I'm still here for you, big bro. And when I get down to Atlanta, goddamn, I'm gonna reach out to you. I don't care if you don't reach back out to me, but at least you gonna know I pulled up. And I'm not coming down there to march, none of that shit. What's good? You feel me? I wanna see if they gonna do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I wanna see it for myself. And I'm gonna show motherfuckers how we supposed to ride with our college family. Just like they grew up in the same house with us. You understand me? So, time is now, man. We gotta really, really pay attention now. A lot of you fucking agents wanna go on God comments and do little bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Cause you know, with us it's all love. So when you come in the comments and troll like that, we won't pay no attention for so long, and then you really want the stores kind of spitting out like, hey, hold up now. All these motherfucking comments, man, I'm giving y'all the motherfucking real knowledge. Without me, you motherfuckers would be lost around here. So what we gonna do is, we gonna notice that shit. No more bots. We ain't got time for that shit. If you a bot, you getting blocked and deleted from all our shit. Shout out to Chief Soul 44 too, cause he had a little situation where motherfuckers wanna keep trolling in his comments. If y'all motherfuckers ain't on our channel to listen, look, learn, and listen. Y'all ain't on the channel for that. Get the fuck off of it. Oh, we gonna block y'all ass off. So back to a little bit more of this video, and then we're gonna break down on what the fuck we should and should not be doing right now.
Alienate their members. To this end, literally nothing was off the table. FBI agents infiltrated meetings and posing as members to cause conflict, intelligence gathering for blackmail and extortion, and even spreading rumors to increase the tension. Though compared to just how horrific and violent their methods would later become, some blackmail and rumor spreading is pretty quaint. While the Communist Party was a perfect training ground for refining their domestic espionage techniques, the activities that would make COINTELPRO infamous were perpetrated against civil rights groups, starting in the late 50s and continuing through the 60s. Dr. T.R.M. Howard, a prominent black surgeon, entrepreneur, and civil rights leader, was critical of the FBI's inaction on a number of infamous hate crimes, including the murders of Emmett Till and George Washington Lee. This prompted Hoover to turn the dangerous attentions of Sullivan and his FBI cronies to black civil rights groups, starting with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, on the grounds that they were supposedly hotbeds of subversive communist activity. The Southern Christian Leadership Conference was just the tip of the iceberg, though. During their 15-year heyday, COINTELPRO would infiltrate and attack the Black Panther Party, anti-Vietnam War organizers, feminist groups, environmentalist and animal rights groups, the Nation of Islam, the Young Lords Puerto Rico Independence Group, and the American Indian Movement. In their very minor defense, they also did take on the Ku Klux Klan. But when you need to compare yourself to the Klan to have moral high ground, you're not doing well. Perhaps their most infamous victims were two of the most well-known civil rights leaders in American history, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. It all gets a whole lot worse from here. In 1963, Dr. King gave his iconic I Have a Dream speech during the March on Washington. While generations of people across the world were touched and inspired by this incredible piece of history, the FBI were terrified. Dr. King was dreaming too big for their liking, and they wanted to put him in his place, that place being 6 feet below the ground.
Peace, blessings, college family. I got some information I want y'all to have right now while I'm preparing more and more content for you guys and goddesses out there who want to walk this spiritual journey with me, you know what I'm saying, and expose a lot of the lies and uncover the truths behind a lot of things that you have heard. Oh, I'm gonna say this before I play this video. I don't own rights to this video, so nobody should sue me. I'm only playing the voice clips. I'm not gonna play the whole video. I do not own rights to this. I repeat, I do not own rights to this. I don't want no trouble out there. This is for educational purposes only.
The FBI is a government agency supposedly intended to protect American civilians from the worst criminals imaginable, from domestic terrorists to serial killers. But who do you run to when the FBI wants you dead? It may seem like the high-concept premise of the latest Jason Bourne movie, but this was actually the terrifying reality faced by a number of political leaders and public figures as a result of cointel, the FBI's clandestine series of projects intended to bring American activism to its knees. But what was cointel really? When did it happen? Who were its targets? And what terrifying illegal methods were employed under its purview? There's only one way to find out. But be warned, by the time this video is over, the FBI won't seem like the brave crime stoppers the movies often paint them as. Under cointel, which stands for Counterintelligence Program, they were responsible for everything from psychological warfare to cold-blooded murder, all committed against mostly non-violent individuals.
So let me pause there for a minute. You heard what the guy said. cointel represents counterintelligence program, programming, psychological warfare, cold-blooded murder, and he loaded against mostly non-violent individuals. What they been doing to my boy Rashad Jamal, y'all? What they been doing to the guys, man? And then it's a lot of other punk ass guys out here who don't even deserve this fucking power, this fucking lineage that we're trying to inherit. They'll go against their own brother, their own godly brother, godly creation. They'll go against that to get likes, to get a following, to get power. Man, fuck all that. We here to uncover the truth and unlock these mysteries. And if we're gonna have guys and goddesses going at each other, I don't even want y'all on my shit. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all that now, this trolling this shit, like, I'm zero tolerance for this shit. I'm gonna block your ass ASAP. So I say that to say we doing videos for educational purposes only. No trolling here. But y'all see how they doing the guy Rashad Jamal and others. It's called cointel, guys. Counterintelligence program, psychological warfare, cold-blooded murder against mostly non-violent individuals. Did God get online and say he finna go at Lil Durk and go at Lil Baby and them? No, he said he finna speak the truth. What's wrong with that? What's the freedom of speech? That's his damn constitutional right. But they proving that we don't have fucking constitutional rights when you jackasses gonna wake up and see that. And when I say jackass, I'm not talking to the people, to my subscribers. I'm not talking to my followers who've been here with me since I started this channel recently. I'm talking about all the trolls. Like, y'all better wake up and realize what side y'all on. Y'all better pick a side. Y'all can't keep straddling the fence and playing both sides, because y'all getting people like me and Rashad Jamal. Y'all getting us in hot fucking water for trying to get y'all secrets. You know, secrets to the universe, secrets to the cosmos, and trying to lead y'all down a different direction. Y'all causing too much fucking confusion. You know, and once again, I'm not talking to my people, my subscribers, and, you know, I'm not talking to the people who really individuals fuck with me as a person, who care about me as a person. Because just because I don't know you, I don't live where you live, don't mean I can't have a conversation with you on the intellectual level, and we can kind of develop a type of love for each other. Cause like I said, it's all supposed to be love from the jump. So I'm gonna start this video back, and like I said, I don't own rights to this content that I'm playing y'all just little clips here and there to explain, to help me explain, to y'all what cointel is.
Whose greatest crime was questioning the system, Just how far the system will go to silence these questions will alarm and terrify you. And at the heart of it all was FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, who opened a nightmarish Pandora's box of government overreach and illegal domestic espionage. The year is 1956, and the Red Scare is in full swing. You don't need to be an expert in American political history to know that mid-1950s America was terrified of communism. The threat of the bomb loomed large over American psyches, and Soviet spies and sleeper agents seemed to lurk in every shadow. Russia and the West were fighting a culture war, and the U.S. was scared it was losing. When someone is afraid and backed into a corner, there's almost nothing they can do to protect themselves, whether the initial fear is justified or not. The U.S. needed bold strategies to fight the perceived communist threat growing within their own borders, and J. Edgar Hoover was on the case. He gave his underlings a sweeping directive to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize any political groups deemed too subversive for the FBI's liking. Hoover had the tacit permission of President Eisenhower and soon after President Kennedy, and Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy personally signed off on a number of covert projects under the COINTELPRO banner. Of course, while every sinister government project requires some enabling bureaucrats to sign all the permission slips, there always needs to be some triggermen willing to get their hands dirty and get the dastardly job done. In this case, we have William C. Sullivan, director of the FBI's Domestic Intelligence Operations. Sullivan's first target was the Communist Party of America,